Yo, what's up, Gemini? Welcome to monthly forecast for the month of March 2018. Gemini, we have a lot of substantial astrology stuff happening this month. We've got two full moons again. So this just happened already in January, and now it's happening again here in March. So this is pretty rare to have two full moons again. So a second blue moon within the same year. So the universe is highlighting how important this is because this isn't going to happen again for another 19 years. And also on March 8th, Jupiter is going to be going retrograde, and it's going to retrograde until July 10th. And then also we have your ruler, Mercury, which is going retrograde on March 22nd, and it's going to retrograde until mid-April. And the sun is going to be in an area for you, Gemini, throughout the month of March 2018. It has to do with your career. So you're going to be pretty busy in your career throughout the month of March 2018. There's going to be more interactions with your bosses, with your coworkers, with your clients. And this area especially has to do with your authority figures. So there are going to be more interactions with your authority figures unless you're the top dog. So, if you're the top dog, then you're going to be pretty active this month. And the sun is going to shift into an area that has to do with social media, friendships. For you, this area has to do with social media, friendships. It has to do with having a good time. And this is on March 20th. So for the most part, throughout the month of March 2018, you're going to be really busy in your career. You might even see some sort of increase in your workload. But then when the sun shifts on March 20th, it's time to put the career thing to the side a little bit, Gemini. We know how hardworking of a Gemini you are, but I know you like to have fun too. So this is your chance to have some fun following March 20th. This area that the sun's going into, it's more upbeat, it's more social. Enjoy yourself. Those are the main themes for you, Gemini, for the month of March 2018. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific major astrological events that are set to occur this month and what they mean for you. Right off the bat on March 1st, there's a full moon. This one has to do with your home and your family situation. So full moons bring development, so there's going to be some kind of development. It's going to be occurring where you live, potentially, for some of you. And for others of you, this might have to do with your family. So think of any sort of change that might be coming down the pike. I mean, can you see it now? Is there anything that's, developing in your life that would eventually lead to some sort of, maybe it's going to precipitate some sort of change or development? Maybe this is a good aspect. If you're trying to move somewhere, this is actually a good aspect on March 1st, this full moon. I'm not saying all Geminis are going to go moving following the full moon on March 1st, but if you are looking to move, then this is great for that. Or, potentially if you want to do a home renovation, or, maybe it has to do with some sort of development within your household or potentially people who live in your home. So you can expect some kind of development or change regarding your home or family life following the full moon on March 1st. On March 4th, Mercury is aligning with Venus. So they're in the same part of the sky and they're aligning. And this has to do with some of you have an attraction for somebody who's in your career. And this aspect is ideal for making conversation with this person, Gemini. I mean, you are a master of flirtation, so flirt it up. Have a good time, and, especially if you're single, I mean, there could be somebody in your career who you can really connect with, or, maybe you aren't single, but there's still someone who you're attracted to, and you're having a conversation with them right around March 4th. Now, if this doesn't have to do with attraction or desire, then potentially it has to do with creativity, so you can communicate about a creative endeavor of some sort right around March 4th. On March 8th, Jupiter is going to be going retrograde. And this is going to hold up your work aspirations a little bit, Gemini. So I know you're a very bottom line, results-oriented type of person, but with Jupiter going retrograde on March 8th, it's going to retrograde until July 10th. So retrogrades, once again, that's where the planet looks like it's going backwards. It's not really going backwards, but it looks like it is. What does that mean astrologically? Well, sometimes when planets go retrograde, they bring delays. So there might be some kind of delay. Maybe you're trying to push something through work-wise, but, there might be sort of a hang-up. So you may have to wait until after July 10th when Jupiter starts to move forward again to have progress with whatever you're looking to have progress with in your workplace. Now, for others of you, maybe this has to do with your health. So, if Jupiter wouldn't go retrograde, then it would just, eventually move on to the next sign. But no, the universe says Jupiter is going to go retrograde because there might be something that some of you need to focus on regarding your health potentially. So, if you've been slacking in the working out department, or, maybe you're not eating, I'm not saying you're doing that. Some of you Gemini potentially, maybe you are, fitness gurus, and you're like, what? And like, no, me? Well, for those of you, I'd say this applies to you. For any Geminis who, you're not working out, or there's limited exercise, or you're not eating healthily, this is Jupiter is retrograding this area because you need to put more of a focus on those things, Gemini. On March 11th, Mars will aspect Uranus. And this one has to do with unexpected conversation with somebody on social media. Mars would suggest a sexual attraction. So if you know anybody from your friends or social media who you're sexually attracted to, potentially some of you might have an unexpected conversation with this person right around March 11th. And where Mars is would suggest that this connection has relationship potential. So if like I said, if you know somebody in your friends list, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, however you can connect with somebody, there might be somebody important there, Gemini. So keep your eye out for that one. And if you're totally single, you might want to give the online dating thing a try. This is a great aspect for finding a great relationship via online dating. So give it a try. March 11th. On March 13th, the sun is positively aspecting Jupiter, which is retrograding. So there's something positive happening in your workplace, and it may not go through right away, like I said, because Jupiter's retrograding. So potentially whatever it is in your work that you're trying to develop here, there is something positive happening there, but potentially it might not finish until Jupiter starts to go forward again, mid-July, or excuse me, on July 10th. But there is something positive happening here because you have Jupiter and the sun working together, which is letting you know that, there is something coming down the pike, Gemini, in your work and in your professional life that's going to be very beneficial for you. On March 17th, there's a new moon in this area that has to do with your professional life. So the new moon's going to hit on March 17th, and the 6 months that follow March 17th. Now, all of a sudden, some Geminis are seeing something new about your profession coming in. So this could resonate differently for all Geminis. For some Geminis, this is something new altogether, a completely new work opportunity coming up. Now, obviously, that's not the case for all of you. Not all Geminis are going to have a totally new employment opportunity or a totally new career opportunity coming in altogether. For some of you, this might mean new developments in your existing career, in your existing professional life. So, whatever's new that's building, whatever you're doing right now, you're going to see something new that's building in your current role, or there's going to be something new about where you work potentially, or where your office is. So look out for that in the 6 months that follow the new moon on March 17th. On March 22nd, we got Mercury going retrograde, so your ruler going retrograde, and once again, it's where the planet looks like it's going backwards. It's not really going backwards, but it looks like it is. So it's going to retrograde from March 22nd. It's going to turn direct again on April 15th. Just be careful with, if you're social media, you might want to double check everything before you're posting on social media or sending messages via the internet, or utilization of any sort of technology. Mercury causes communication disruption, so just make sure you're double checking everything that you're sending before you send it or posting it or whatever. For others of you, you might be posting stuff on social media that you've posted this before, but now all of a sudden you're posting it again because it's coming up again for some reason. And for others of you, this might be you talking to friends who you haven't talked to in quite some time. Now all of a sudden, people from your social past are coming up, friends who you haven't seen in a while. All of a sudden, they're starting to reappear. You're having conversations potentially with, friends from your past. And on March 25th, Venus will aspect Jupiter. This implies some sort of romantic connection with probably somebody who you know from work. You can also connect with this person via social media. So if you're DMing somebody from work, or you're somehow interacting with somebody from work, and you might be interacting with them via social media of some sort. So this also could be something about, potentially some of you, there might be a little bit of an imbalance with your social life and your work life. Maybe you want to try to make some adjustments so you can try to get some more social time in, Gemini. If you're too career oriented, if you're too work oriented, it's going to be taking a lot away from your social life. You need to have fun too. You need to have, you're all Gemini, you know about having fun. So just make sure you're balancing it out the right way. On March 31st, there's a full moon. This one has to do with your romance. It has to do with your love life. Potentially for some of you, has to do with creativity. So you might see a change. You might see a development of some sort. If your relationship stinks, or if your love life stinks, I mean, who are you with right now? If you are with somebody, Gemini, if you're not happy, what are you doing? Find somebody who is going to make you happy. Let the person go so they can find someone who's good for them. If you're single, I'm not saying you're definitely going to find love, but potentially you might. And if you're happy in your current love alliance, then who knows? Maybe you could take it to the next level following March 31st. That's all for you this month, Gemini. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next month.